The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
I'm here with Sam James Johnson. Hello.
Hello.
So in the run up to this, I was obviously listening to your tunes, and you can immediately tell who some of your idols are, and who you, I think, have taken direct inspiration from, like Oasis being the obvious one. Am I right in thinking you're a pretty big fan?
Who would I have never heard of them? No, they are. Yeah, definitely, like probably one of the bigger influences. Yeah, I mean that was with them. That was like the first band that I really kind of got into. It was like the first kind of music I was listening to that was like my own choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the first gig that I ever went to was them, and the first band that probably got me into music was them.
Wow.
So yeah.
So who else, sort of along that line, I guess, would you say were your inspirations?
Sort of like, so for me, a lot of bands around that time as well. So obviously Oasis, but like a lot of other 90s bands as well who never made it as big, like Shed 7, Stone Roses, Blur, Charlatans, but even going back further than that, you know what I mean, like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. So just a lot of like great British bands, really.
Did Oasis sort of start your musical journey for you then?
It did, yeah. So the first sort of song that I really got into was a song called Live Forever, which I'm sure that you've heard before.
Yeah.
And from hearing that just really got me into music. And so from there, obviously went out and bought the album, really got into that, and then you find out about other albums that they've done. But then from there, it's almost like a bit of a tree with branches, where branches sort of branch out, because then you find out that they listen to like the Jam, and then you think, oh well, I'm going to check out the Jam then, and then you check out like Paul Weller stuff and all that, and you find out he was into the Beatles and the Small Faces, and then you go back even further and then you listen to their music, and then it sort of just branches out into like, and then before you know it, you've got this big musical taste of all these bands, and then you kind of form your music taste. And it for me, it kind of started from hearing Live Forever. Definitely, yeah.
Let's talk about your single Something. How did that come about?
It's kind of started about 3 years ago. It kind of started in the way that all my songs start, just me playing it on an acoustic guitar. And I took it to my producer, who I work with, is a guy called Erin, who's a fantastic producer. He's the one that's produced all the stuff that I've released to date. I took it to him, and he fell in love with it straight away, and so we started recording it and stuff like that, and then sort of seeing where we could take it. And by like not by mistake, but like it did start to sound very kind of Brit poppy and have that kind of Oasis sound to it. And it was a thing for a little bit. I was thinking, I don't know, like it sounds a little bit too like that. Do you know what I mean? But then it kind of got down to it, and it just sounded really good to both of us. And we just thought, well, instead of like trying to shy away from it, let's try and embrace it. You know what I mean? Let's try and make the best Britpop song that nobody's ever heard. And so we did it like that. And then we just kind of carried on with it. And then even with the video as well, we wanted the video to kind of have that aspect to it as well. So if you look at the video, it kind of looks like a promo video from like the 90s, which was the sort of thing that we was going for as well. So yeah, that's how that song kind of come about, really.
It's cool that you've embraced it so much, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of one of them people anyway. I like kind of like wearing my influences on my sleeve, and I think you should. I think it should be a thing that you should be ashamed of. You know what I mean? If you like certain music and stuff like that, and you want to make music like that, I mean, sometimes it happens consciously, sometimes subconsciously. Because I listen to that sort of music, sometimes naturally it does just come out. But yeah, I think it's like people shouldn't shy away from it. You know what I mean? It's just like embrace it. As long as it's good music you're listening to.
Yeah.
Then it's all right.
It's awesome that you've also taken this like crazy pandemic time to release tracks to the world that have been in a vault for a while, I guess. What made you want to do
that? It was just quite as a musician, just quite a boring time, you know what I mean? Because there was no gigs about and stuff like that. Couldn't go into the studio, couldn't do anything like musical. The only sort of musical thing I could do was just sit in my bedroom and just play tunes, you know what I mean? I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to just dust off some tunes that I've kind of neglected throughout the years and haven't really worked on, and kind of just use it as a platform just to get some songs out acoustically, just to see if like the appetite's there really as well. It's a good like time to like see whether songs work or not, you know, just to see like the reactions and stuff like that. And I mean, I must admit, my plan was I was going to release an acoustic video every 2 weeks, but it kind of slipped through the net. I haven't done as many as I wanted to do, but yeah,
Glad you
it's
said
been
that,
nice
because I was going to ask you about that.
I got there first.
Yeah.
But no, it's yeah, there was a plan to do like carry on doing them, but it kind of did slip through the net. But yeah, who knows? I might get back to it.
When you open your eyes, what do you see? Are you in the place you wish to be? The clock is ticking slowly, but you're out of time. Won't you give me a reason, or give me a rhyme? I can feel myself go, I can feel nothing at all, till you give me something, till you give me something, till you give me something. If you want to, then fly me somewhere new. I don't care as long as I'm with you. I only need you to give me peace of mind. Just get out of this town and leave them behind. I can feel myself go, I can feel nothing at all, till you give me something, till you give me something, till you give me something. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I can feel myself go, I can feel nothing at all, till you give me something, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
So what do you think has been the biggest challenge for you as a musician this year?
For me, it's just not being able to go out and play songs live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was last year, 2020, was going to be my year of because the year before I managed to get some singles out and get some singles off the ground and get some songs that people might know. And the ambition last year was to go out and actually like do some proper gigs, do like a little bit of a tour, find out like some other bands and stuff like that, see if I can get some support slots and try and like proper get the word out and stuff like that. And then it was all sort of gearing up to it. And then March happened and it was just like nothing. So that was it really. Just not being able to just go out and play songs, which was really nice. And obviously studios were closed for the majority of the time last year as well. So just not being able to write a song, but just not being able to go in and just record it and get songs out like that. And it was a bit, I thought it might be a bit of a weird time to release music last year as well, you know what I mean? I guess it is good in a way that everyone's at home, so everyone is kind of listening to music and stuff like that. But I don't know about you, but like when with when certain songs are released to me, I like that when they came out, it reminds me of a certain time in my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
A
but I
certain
think
summer
also
and stuff like that.
songs like that can get you through not just times like that, but also get you through times at home. Like I think there was so much music that was released last year that sort of I associate with raving in my kitchen or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
at
yeah.
home.
There
Do
is,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because there has been a lot of that about as well. So I think although
yeah.
it's really difficult. The
I mean, I
artists
think the
that
good
have
thing
released-
about I mean, I do think the good thing about well, not the good thing about a pandemic, but you know,
I know
with
what you mean.
musicians,
Yeah.
it's the fact that the real kind of like show must go on kind of spirit that a lot of musicians have had by doing like the Zoom gigs and doing like shows like yourself, like what you're doing and stuff like that, and real kind of like everyone getting together and making music
thanks.
and stuff like that has been really good. It's been really inspiring, and I've actually met so many people all around the country who I've never met face to face, just on
That's
like
so
doing
weird,
things
isn't
like
it?
this and doing like Zoom gigs and like virtual open mic nights and stuff like that, who
Yeah.
I probably would never have met. So and it's weird, yeah. So I've actually met like a load of new people just sat in my bedroom, which is weird.
Very strange. How have you found the whole live stream thing, by the way?
It's okay. It has kind of got me through sort of like missing the whole live music thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same as actually going out. And I mean, a gig for me is very much kind of like the night out itself. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's meeting the people and it's going out afterwards. And it's like for me, the actual music, the actual playing is like 50% of it really. The rest of it is actually like the night out. That's like a gig for me. But it's really doing these like little open mic things and the Instagram live things and stuff like that. It has kind of I've really missed playing live, so it's kind of filled that void. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. Have you got any gigs booked in for when this is all over, or not quite yet?
I haven't actually, no, but I should probably get on it because I think everything's sort of started up. So yeah, I better get in there
Definitely.
before try and get a gig. Yeah.
I wanted to chat to you also about your debut single, This Place. We chatted briefly just now about how it was released a couple of years ago. What made you want to release that one first?
I don't know really. It was. I think because it was the first song that me and my friend Erin, who produced it, it's the first song we ever recorded together.
Yeah.
So like a little bit of a backstory. I was kind of just doing like home demos and stuff like that. Just using like the cheap, crappy like equipment that I've got, and obviously like the sound quality of it was really bad. But in my head, they sounded amazing, and I was kind of sending them to like radio stations and stuff like that, and feel like wondering why I didn't get any airplay or anything like that. But anyway, a mate of mine put me in touch with this guy called Erin, who is a music producer.
Yeah.
He's like freelance, and he's like so good at what he does. And he sent me some of his demos, and he wanted to work with me. So we met up. Me and my brother went to go and meet him because we heard all these good things about him, but we thought, but if he's an idiot, then you know it's not really going to work, is it? You know. So we turned up at his place, and it turns out that he's like the nicest person you could ever meet in your life ever.
Oh.
And and then we booked in some dates, and then and that was the first song we worked on. That was the one that he liked. That was the demo that he liked the most. And so we worked on that, and I was just blown away with what he done with it production wise. And so it just felt fitting to have that one as the first one.
Was that the first time you'd ever worked with a producer on your songs?
Yeah. So it was a proper like new experience for me. Like everything that I'd ever done before was just like home recordings and stuff like that. And I'm not a producer or anything like that, you know what I mean? I can give it a little bit of a go and stuff like that. But it was the first time I worked in that kind of setting, in like a proper studio with a proper producer who can just like work magic and make these great sounds come out and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a new experience, and it was amazing.
But no one seems to know just where you're coming from. Someone else's dream. this place.
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
What was it like sort of letting someone into your own head in terms of, like, obviously you've got the song, you'd recorded the demo, but ultimately how it would sound finally was only really up here, right? So how do you even go about sharing that with someone?
I think for like certain songs, you do have like a fixed idea, and you think, no, it needs to sound like that. That's what I've got in my head. It needs to sound like that.
Yeah.
But other times, you kind of do have an idea, but you're kind of open to like suggestion as well. And it's nice. I actually like having someone else's input into it as well, because I don't know it all. And sometimes it is nice to someone, especially a producer who works on like different kinds of music as well, different genres and stuff like that as well. Not that you want to turn it into like a different genre, but they might see something in it that you never see.
So is it very much a case of like, what about this? And then like he tries stuff and you're like, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I mean, I always say to him, like, because when I kind of do my bits and then we record it together and stuff like that, and he normally just like tweaks little bits and pieces here and there. And I just say to him, like, look, just go mad, do what you want.
Yeah.
Do what you want. If you feel that something's going to be good, do what you want. If worst comes to worst, we'll just scrap it. But and it's good. And it's good because sometimes you hear it, you think, whoa, like, I weren't expecting that. I weren't expecting it to sort of go in that direction, but I'm glad that it has.
Yeah. Are you working on anything at the moment that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I'm working on an album at the minute.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's sort of coming at the moment. Yeah, so about halfway through.
Okay.
And I'm going back in the studio in a couple of weeks' time to do the rest of it. And yeah, it's all sounding pretty good so far.
Cool.
So like the new songs are sounding pretty good, and yeah, can't wait to get back in the studio. And
is this the first album?
First album ever.
Nice.
Yeah. And I wasn't going to do an album. It didn't really appeal to me. I mean, I've always been a fan of albums, and I've always collected albums and stuff like that. But I never thought like I really had like a statement to do an album. Do you know what I mean? I was quite happy with just doing like the singles, bringing out the singles as and when. But after like the year we've had, I just thought, you know what, life's too short. Let's just
why not?
Just go. Yeah, let's just go all out, and let's just get all. And it'd be nice for people to have like a physical. I'm going to do physical copies as well.
Oh,
so it'd be nice to actually have like something in your hands as well, like 100%. A body of work. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I think definitely that's the way to go with albums. So how many tracks will it have on it?
I don't know yet. I'm hoping we can get it to about 10. Nice. I think I've got about 9 or 10 at the moment, but we'll see how the recordings go. For the next one. Hopefully it doesn't end up with 5 or something like that.
Is there a timeline for release or not quite yet?
I'd like to get it out as soon as possible, really. It's kind of one of the things we don't really want to rush into it and get it out just for the sake of getting it out.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would like to get it out this year, but I kind of want it to come out in the summer. I think it's got quite a summery kind of feel to it. So if we can get it done in time, hopefully this year. But like worst comes to worst, we'll just get it out next year. But there'll be like singles coming out from it before then anyway. So
cool.
Yeah. So there'll be singles coming from it soon.
Great. Okay, so assuming that the pandemic isn't a thing, and you got a call
would
tomorrow,
be nice.
You got a call tomorrow, and you could play a dream gig anywhere in the world. Where would it be?
Brixton Academy.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm guessing you've been before.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason being, I've been to so many good gigs there for like growing up.
Yeah.
And it's one of them venues where the sound is just always insane. It's always amazing, and every gig I've been in there is amazing. It's just the right size as well. You know what I mean? It's not too big, but it's quite intimate at the same time.
What would you say the best gig you've been to there has been?
Oh wow. Do you know what? It probably wouldn't be like a particular gig, but it was. Do you know Radio X?
Yeah. They
used to do this event back in the day called Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to it?
I used to work for their street team. Carry on.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh wow. yeah. So you know all about that. Yeah. So me and my mate used to go to them quite a lot. Like every winter, like around Christmas, and they used to, as you know, they used to do like was it like a 20-minute slot, wasn't it, for like acts that they had? It was almost like a mini festival, but on one night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that probably was. Yeah, one of them ones. Yeah, always a good night. I'm so gutted that they got rid of that because they were like it's become like a sort of highlight over Christmas.
Yeah.
Them ones. Yeah.
So you're doing your dream gig, Brixton Academy, and you can collaborate with anyone, dead or alive, who would be on that stage with you.
I'm gonna say the Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you and the Beatles are on that stage, and you can have a dream rider for this gig. What would be on that rider?
Just alcohol, just lots of alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. So if people want to find out more about you, where can they go? What can they do?
I'd say the best sites to check out would be the Instagram page.
Yeah.
Which is instagram.com/SamJamesJohnson, or the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/SamJamesJohnsonMusic. I would have liked to have had every website that I do with the same name, but yeah, people have got there before me, so yeah, it's been impossible.
Oh, annoying.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for giving up the time to come on the show, and hopefully when we're allowed, we can get you down to the studio and you can do a proper session with us.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. That'd be brilliant. Yeah, thank you
Cool.
for having me.
Another day is come and gone. You know you're right, but they'll say you're wrong. Never feeling how you wanna feel. Your dreams they fade, but this life is real. Oh, they'll raise you up, then they'll throw you down. Oh, we'll never know till we get out of this town. You're still waiting for your Friday night. Your week is gone and your future's bright. You close your eyes and drink it all away, and pray to God that these days